Hi guys, this is Vitaly with AFT Dispatch and A2C Logistics, and in today's video, I'd like to speak with you about a very powerful tailwind that's very favorable for trucking demand. Now, before I get started, I'd like to ask you to please like the video, be sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a single release of our videos, where every Friday we're talking about something that could benefit you in your trucking businesses, in your trucking careers, as well as cover the loads we've successfully booked for our customers, consisting of leased on owner operators and carriers operating under their own MC authorities, running under our truck dispatch services. As always, guys, thank you very much for all the likes you provided in all the previous videos, all the views. You know, every time you hit that like button on these videos, it's like casting a vote. It's basically saying, listen, this here is really good content. Go out there and push these videos out in front of more truckers out there. They're going to like it. This is going to be beneficial to them. So thank you very much for all the likes, and please do keep them coming. Now, this one right here, this video, I'm very excited to report about. I was really happy to make it because what we're talking about here is a boon to every trucker in America, whether they're a company driver, a carrier, or they're a leased on owner operator, because what we're talking about here are inventories being in dire need of replenishment, because ever since the beginning of the pandemic and with all the crazy winter weather that we had, that we reported about 2 weeks ago with Texas and you know, the southern states having all the snowfall, all that, you know, with port congestion, there's all sorts of issues that have been going on that have really slowed down the supply chain. And guess what? Trucking is a huge part of the supply chain. So when one's affected, so is the other. In this case, a very positive effect. And like I said, a boon, very favorable for trucking companies in America. Now, recent earnings reports have been showing that sales have been outpacing inventories. And, you know, like I said, port congestion is a big part of it. There's going to be some issues with, you know, obviously the pandemic had a big deal. You all remember the empty shelves and all the craziness that was going on at the time. But what we're seeing now is that Walmart is reporting that sales have actually grew faster than inventory. Target added 2 new distribution centers, and they have 2 more in plan for 2022. So the really big, I mean, we're talking billions of dollars in investing into supply chain and distribution networks. And we have businesses that will really affect for example, flatbeds and step decks, because Home Depot their sales outpaced their inventory, and Lowe's, they really improved their inventory, but the sales were lagging. So in both cases, again, a really big benefit to all trucking companies, because ultimately it leads to the same exact thing. More freight that needs to be shipped by trucking companies and a big tight capacity of trucking companies. So again, supply and demand is going to work in our favor. Now, for example, tech companies like Best Buy, they did something interesting. Best Buy used their stores, their retail locations, as warehouses in a new pilot program where they were basically shipping directly to consumers. And, you know, we got TJX companies like, you know, you've heard of them, TJ Maxx, Homegoods, Marshalls, those kinds of companies. Kohl's, for example, they all saw inventories decline faster than sales. And all in all, this is all going to benefit us with, especially, and I've been talking about this for a while, e-commerce. E-commerce was up year over year by 22.1%. That's unadjusted, and with seasonally adjusted, it was like over 10 or 11% year over year, which is a ridiculous amount of money for a single sector to go up. And that's because people were sitting at home getting, unemployment checks, getting stimulus checks, and spending their money online, buying stuff on Amazon and other online retailers. So this is all really good news, but I do have to mention this. Record imports are forecasted for January through June. So what we're talking about here is, at a minimal, there's going to be a really hot market from now to about the middle of the year. And who knows what's going to happen in the future? Maybe something else pops up that's going to slow down this process. We just can't tell what's going on. But right now, analysts are very positive about the future that's coming up. And all in all, what it all boils down to is that, demand is high. Obviously, if inventories are low, if sales are up, and capacity is obviously tight, obviously, because there's not enough trucking companies, not enough truck drivers out there to deliver the freight. What does this all boil down to? It boils down to high rates. And guess what? We're always going to be working towards that. We're going to always squeeze out all the money we possibly can. Those of you who are already working with us, you know what I'm talking about. Those of you who are not, definitely stick around and watch the second portion of this video that's coming. I'm about to switch over to camera. We're going to look over the loads we've successfully booked for our customers. And you're going to have to take a look at this because it was another really great week. Now, before I take off, I want to ask you guys, if you haven't liked the video, please hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of these videos, and hit that notification bell because otherwise you will not know when we put out these videos every Friday. So hold on a second. I'm going to switch over to camera. We're going to look over these loads. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back, guys. Let's take a look at some of these loads. Like I said, another great week. We're going to start off with a dry van coming out of Columbus, Ohio, going to Galesburg, Michigan. This was a Target load, weighed 33,246 pounds. A load of dry goods, 266 miles, booked at $2,200. Got them $8.27 per mile. Amazing. Then at a Grand Rapids, Michigan, going to St. Charles, Illinois, 42,000 pound load of FAK, 219 miles, booked at $800, got them $365 a mile. Then Cicero, Illinois, going with a one pick, two dropper to Portage, Michigan and Dundee, Michigan. This is a load of auto parts at 38,000 pounds, 277 miles, booked at $2,500, got them $903 per mile. Then Constantine, Michigan, going to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. This was 44.5 on a weight, load of seeds, and 358 miles, booked at $2,500, which got them $698 per mile. And finally, out of Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Zero Deadhead. This got them a load to Delphos, Ohio, which was a load of feed ingredients at 42K on the weight, 446 miles, booked at $1,650, got them $370 per mile. All in all, these guys did a fantastic run at Friday to Friday. Basically grossing $9,650 in their dry van, running 1,566 miles, and averaging loaded at $616 per loaded mile. And basically a Michigan-based truck making really short runs and then coming back to Ohio, making top dollar in a regular dry van. Next, we have another dry van coming out of Mountain Lake, Minnesota, going to Leesburg, Florida. 42,328 pounds of whey powder. It was a one pick, one drop load at 1,518 miles, booked at $5,200. That got them an average of $343 per mile on lots of miles, over 1,500 miles on that one. Then Jacksonville, Florida, going out to Lexington, North Carolina, 10,312 pound load of toys. It was a palletized load, very light, 441 miles. Coming out of Florida, got them at $950, got them $215 per mile. So over $2 a mile coming out of Florida. Then Rural Hall, North Carolina, going to Columbus, Ohio, 13,833 pounds. Some sort of product, 368 miles. This is a dry van, booked at $1,450, got them $394 per mile. Then Columbus, Ohio, to New Era, Michigan. So Zero Deadhead, 40,000 pound load. 387 miles, booked at $1,500. That's $388 per mile. And then finally, Frankfort, Michigan, going to Fairfield, Ohio, 42,240 pound load of dry food, 484 miles, booked at $1,800, got them $373 per mile. All in all, these guys ended up grossing $10,900. Ran 3,197 miles with a loaded average of $341 per loaded mile, and ran this for a little over a week. With $341 per loaded mile. Really, this is a very strong driver, and he's taking advantage of the good markets. He's got a dry van, he's making almost $11,000 in just a little over a week. And so definitely money can be made. You just have to be willing to work and hustle and work with the right dispatchers. Next, we have a reefer coming out of Mercetown, Pennsylvania, going to Indianapolis, Indiana, 42K on the weight, load of beer, basically protect from freeze, 614 miles, booked at $2,600, got him $423 a mile. Then Greenfield, Indiana, going to Galesburg, Michigan, 20,000 pound load of protein powder. It was a 60-degree load on the reefer, 215 miles, booked at $1,400, got him $651 per mile. Then Grand Rapids, Michigan, going to St. Paul, Minnesota, 25,000 pound load of packaging materials. It's a dry load running in this reefer at 578 miles, booked at $2,000, got him $346 a mile. Finally, they got a Rochester, Minnesota, going to Marrero, Louisiana, 37,000 pound load of mixed veggies, 1,122 miles, quite a bit of miles there, booked at $5,400. That got him $481 per mile for over 1,100 miles. Excellent job. These guys ran Tuesday to Monday, 6 days of driving. This is a solo driver, ended up grossing in his reefer $11,400 for that period, ended up running 2,529 miles at an average of 451 per loaded mile. And this reefer, definitely made top gross and certainly hit the top averages in this market. So, definitely Vanner reefer, you can make a lot of money. And like I said, over $11,000 in 6 days of running. That's absolutely amazing. Next, we have another reefer coming out of Fremont, Nebraska, going to McCook, Illinois. 38,000 pound load of frozen pork, 489 miles booked at $2,100, got him $429 a mile. Then Bolingbrook, Illinois, going to Shawnee, Kansas, 40,000 pound load of non-alcoholic beverages. Protect from freeze type of load, 493 miles booked at $2,000, 406 per mile. Then Alma, Kansas, going to Indianapolis, Indiana, 37,000 pound load of frozen groceries, 583 miles booked at $2,700, got him $463 per mile. Then Logansport, Indiana, going to Twinsburg, Ohio. That's a 30,000 pound load of Dunkin' Donuts. 294 miles booked at $2,000, got him $680 per mile. And finally, Streetsboro, Ohio, going to Sunnyvale, Texas. 42,000 pound load of Nestle frozen foods, 1,174 miles booked at $4,200 going to Texas, 358 per mile average on that one. These guys did absolutely record-breaking week for these guys. Ran Monday to Monday. This is a solo reefer, grossed $13,000 in a week at an average of $429 per loaded mile, with 3,033 miles ran plus 258 miles of deadhead, which got him an average with deadhead included of $395 per mile. Absolute record. This 13 grand in a week in a reefer. Excellent job, guys. Next, we have another driver coming out of Sumner, Washington, going to Eagan, Minnesota, 41.5. This is a dry van. This is a load of baseball bats. That's a lot of baseball bats. 1,683 miles, booked at $3,400. That's $202 a mile. And then out of St. Paul, Minnesota, going to Twin Falls, Idaho, 43.5 on the load of paper rolls, 1,345 miles, booked at $6,000 even, got them $446 per mile. So 2 runs that they did, ran Monday to Monday, plus had a 34-hour reset, and we're still able to clear $9,400 in gross revenue, 3,028 miles loaded at an average of $310 per loaded mile. And basically, 2 good long runs are basically making for a very, very good week. Two runs, and this is a regular dry van, $9,400. Easy money, I would say. Just get on the highway and hit the road. Now, we have another dry van coming out of Portland, Tennessee, going to Philly. 20,000 pound load of fixtures and shelving, 810 miles, booked at $3,700, got them $457 a mile. Then Voorhees Township, New Jersey, going to Akron, Ohio, 43.5 on a load of totes of juice. It was a concentrate. 426 miles booked at $1,500, got them $352 a mile. Then it looks like Macedonia, Ohio, going to Anderson, Indiana, 41.6 on a weight, load of beverages, protect from freeze, 293 miles booked at $1,700, got them $580 per mile. Then Newcastle, Indiana, going to York, Nebraska, 43.5 on a weight, basic agricultural products, 736 miles booked at $3,000, got them $408 per mile. And again, it's a dry van, ran Friday to Friday, plus a 34-hour reset is included. Ended up running 2,265 miles, loaded miles, at an average of $437 per mile, with a gross of $9,900 for that week, with the reset included. I would say this is probably the top average for a dry van in the last 10 years, if not longer. The fact of the matter is, this is definitely an excellent average for these freight markets, especially for a regular dry van. Now, finally, we're going to finish off with a dry van coming out of Plainfield, Indiana. San Antonio, Texas was the drop, a 34,000 pound load of dry goods, 1,161 miles booked at $3,700. At 1,161 miles, that got them $319 per mile. And then San Antonio, Texas, zero deadhead, went to Littleton, Colorado, 8,000 pound load of doors, very light load, 929 miles booked at $3,300, got them $355 a mile. And all in all, these guys ran in the Friday to Wednesday, ended up still getting that 34-hour reset in, plus, ended up grossing $7,000 on just 2 loads in a dry van, ran 2,090 loaded miles at an average of 335 per loaded mile. Plus, they only had 24 deadhead miles, which dropped them down to 331 per loaded mile, per mile with deadhead included. And I gotta say, this is a new guy having a very good start with us. He recently started and did a great job. I would say, for a new guy, some light loads, made his appointments and 2 quick runs, and he's making $7,000. And I know for a fact that the company he came from, he wouldn't have seen that kind of money in 4 weeks. So he's in good hands, and you too can be in good hands. Whether you're a carrier or you're an owner-operator, you have your own MC authority, or you're looking for a good company that's transparent, that will get you good loads, and that will be completely honest and provide you all the rate confirmations on every load, one way or another. Guys, you have a friend in us. Get us a call, text us. Our number is 801-448-6363. You can also get more information on our website at aftdispatch.com/go, or any of our web pages. You can look at, you can find our little chat box that's going to be on the screen right now. Go to there, type in your name, your information, your phone number. We will get back to you. We'll get you all the information. We'll put you on our email list. Make sure that you're well informed and you can get this kind of money. So again, call or text 801-448-6363. Go to our website at aftdispatch.com. And until next week, guys, be healthy, stay wealthy. Take care.